We're going to get underway as we usually do with the Planetary Society's Science and Technology Coordinator. She is also the editor of the Society's wildly popular blog at planetary.org/blog. Please welcome to the PlanRad Live stage, Emily Lakdawalla. Emily, you've told me we've got a big topic to cover today. We're going to split it across this week's program and next week's show. We're going to do the same thing with the main interview segment as well. Now, where are you going to be taking us?
I'm going to take you to space, of course, and I'm going to talk about how spacecraft take color pictures. And the reason I picked this subject is because there is a lot of confusion out there about how spacecraft do that, so much so that I have an alternate title for my talk, which is NASA's Shocking Cover-Up of Alien Bases with Photoshop.
Ooh.
All right. Well, I'm going to begin with a photo that I put together, a color picture of Titan and Dione. These are two of the moons of Saturn.
Now, I want to warn the folks in the listening audience, the radio audience, we're going to ask you guys in the room to ooh and ah periodically appropriately, just to make them feel even worse at home that they can't see these great images. But we're going to put everything up. You're going to put everything on the blog.
That's right.
And we'll probably turn this into a little video as well. So, carry on.
I've started here with a picture of Titan and Dione shot by Cassini in the Saturn system. Titan and Dione are two of Saturn's moons. And I put this together a couple years ago. I threw it on my blog, and a few months later, some guy on YouTube stretched the heck out of the contrast on this thing, and he discovered something extremely suspicious. There were brush strokes on the backside of Dione. What was being covered up? There were clearly alien bases on this Saturnian moon, and NASA was trying to hide them from everybody. Well, of course, that's not true, but I forgive people for being suspicious about the fact that there were brush strokes on the backside of Dione. What exactly am I hiding here? Well, to explain, I have to explain to you how spacecraft color imaging works. And I'm going to start with some images from the Mars Exploration Rover mission. These were actually taken only 2 weeks ago on the rim of Endeavour crater. Now,
Good work. Keep it up.
nearly every spacecraft camera that's out there is a black and white camera. They do not have native color capability. And the reason for that is because as much as we enjoy the pictures that are returned from the spacecraft, they are actually scientific data. The bright areas tell us about different materials that reflect light more strongly than the dark ones, which absorb sunlight. With some spacecraft cameras, that's where it ends, but with many, they get tricky. They use what's called a filter wheel. They rotate different filters into place in front of the camera lens, and those only allow certain wavelengths of light to pass through. So a red filter only lets red wavelengths of light pass through. It doesn't just have to be the kinds of light that we can see. There are ultraviolet and infrared filters that only let those wavelengths pass through. And so the Mars Exploration Rovers can take as many as 13 different color pictures. And they're all black and white, but they each record different kinds of information, different wavelengths of light hitting the detector. This one's infrared. You can tell that rocks are dark in infrared. And then we go back through the visible color range. So you get a lot of information, scientific data about the types of rocks on Mars. And in fact, scientists actually graph this because scientists like to make graphs. However, we like to see in color. So we take this wonderful data set, we throw out almost all of it, and we just pick 3 of the pictures taken through red, green, and blue filters. We combine them, we shoot red light through the red filter image, green light through the green filter image, blue light through the blue filter image, and we get a lovely color picture of Mars. And it's just that easy for rover images. However, it gets much harder with Cassini images. And to understand why, you're going to have to tune in next week.
So that's really not just a tease. We just want to give her more time to go through this. And so we're going to pick this up in the second half of our Planetary Live episode, Planetary Radio Live, next week. Emily, thank you very much. Emily Lakdawalla is the Planetary Society's Science and Technology Coordinator.